What's up, music fans of the internet? I am Kevin.
I'm Derek.
And together we are last week's album, The Only Reviews with two different views. And in this episode, we're talking about Sweet Spirit's new album, Cokomo, and asking the question, does this rock doo-wop adventure take you to an island worth visiting? But before we get into that, we'll kick things off like we always do with a beer. Cheers, Derek, and everyone at home.
Cheers, Kevin, everyone at home.
Sweet Spirit is an Austin-based band. It actually started as a solo effort for the lead singer and then quickly turned into a 9-piece. Earlier in 2015, they released an EP and a 7-inch with Spoon frontman Britt Daniels. He's given them a little bit of street cred here locally in Austin. And Mike McCarthy, who's produced a lot of Spoon albums, produced this record as well. And with that, let's talk about what it sounds like. Derek, what do you think?
Kevin, I think Sweet Spirit sounds like somewhere of the intersection between Shovels and Rope meets Leon Bridges, and The Strokes meets Sonny and Cher.
All right. You can definitely hear a little bit of each of those as well. I think it sounds like Lucius, Blondie, and the Velvet Underground take a staycation in their garage. Mainly because it's got some garage rock in there. And what about some key tracks? I'm going to go with track number 1, Take Me to a Party, and number 7, If You Wanna. What about you, Derek?
I'm going with All Mine, number 4, and Someone Like You, track 8.
All right. Well, if we're going in order of the album, I'll start things off with the opener, Take Me to a Party. For me, this sounds like Kiss meets Deep Valley. It's got a nice balance of dark, undertoned verses that give way to these really wailing, sing-along choruses. There's an 8-bit solo over some garage fuzz rock. There's a nice horn outro. The song seems to be a celebration of emotion. The main line being, got a broken heart, so take me to a party. And live, they always end on this song. So it's really interesting hearing them starting off with it, letting you know right up front they're not holding anything back. Really well done. What about All Mine, Derek?
Yeah, this one features verses that have soft keys, a stand-up bass, subtle percussion, chirping electric guitar, and some haunting keys. It's a much brighter chorus featuring backing vocal ooh la 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 la's, hinting at the doo-wop onslaught that is about to drop later on in the song. I thought it sounded like a very amped up Ronettes. Apologies on maybe using an obscure reference there, but it just, you just dripped with 50s rockabilly type doo-wop vibe there. String, saxophone, slide guitar all make kind of appearances towards the end to nice effect. The lyrics are it's very sweet lyrics talking about a lover, supported by what I thought was kind of an overall haunting type sound. Which created a nice contrast. One lyric I liked especially, tomorrow afternoon is like a painting, just stay in bed with me till it quits raining. The dream you're having is identical to mine. So just a really cool song.
That is really sweet. I didn't pick up on that line, Derek. Number 7, If You Wanna, is sort of the opposite of the opener that I described. It's chill beach pop. There's crunchy guitars, ringing keys, sexy vocals, pumping drums, mellow guitar, and it's about escaping not just where you are, but even escaping who you are, so you can be the type of person who escapes where you are. It gets a little bit meta. It's very smart, but it's not snobbish at all. It's very soothing and a welcoming song that I think proves Sweet Spirit can loosen their grip without losing your attention. And what about number 8, Someone Like You, Derek?
So this one, Someone Like You, features bumping bass guitar, whirring electric guitars, trumpet, saxophone, male-female vocals at time in unison, at times, in response to each other. And that's why I thought this one really sounded like The Strokes meets Sonny and Cher to some degree. Although maybe in a time machine back to the 50s, because I know Sonny and Cher weren't, performing in the 50s. Anyway, there's a breakdown featuring 50s style a cappella vocals, very layered around the 130 mark. And I thought this one was just perfect for your next sock hop, even though I'm pretty sure they don't have those anymore.
I don't think they do, Derek. Maybe in middle school. And with that, let's talk about some best lyrics. Derek, what are you going with?
I'm going with one from a song called Poor, which seems like a complete change of pace from the songs we've been talking about, but really good lyric that jumped out to me. Every day I go to work to pay my rent, but by the time I get my check, my money's all spent. Although I feel I'm working only to survive, the point in living isn't only to stay alive. So just very, poignant, insightful lyrics into, economic, personal struggles, in this case being, financial in nature. I like the wordplay between, gotta pay my rent and my money's all spent. And then again, the contrast of, feeling like working only to survive, but there's got to be more to life than that. So in some simple ways, asking some very large questions, if you will. Really dug it.
Nice. I would say that mine echoes that sentiment of simpleness, or simplicity, rather. It's a line from Rebel where she sings, "Youth is a waste, get some lines on that face." And all these songs on this album, or most of them, are pretty fun and fun-loving, at least on the surface. But they each have some darker undertones, and particularly some sage wisdom that I thought this line in particular exemplified. And now it's time to answer the big question, give an overall rating to the album. The big question being, does this rock doo-wop adventure take you to an island worth visiting? Derek, what do you think?
Kevin, to answer the big question, does it take listeners to an island worth visiting? Absolutely. I think it's even worth sticking around for a little while. Some reasons why, as we kind of alluded to, some very varied instrumentation, which I thought really added some nice details here and there. And I thought overall this allowed them the flexibility to do a lot of fresh takes on familiar genres. Again, as we kind of alluded to, strong lyrical themes. Totally agree with you on the sage wisdom aspect that you pointed out earlier, Kevin. And I really liked how a lot of these themes were sometimes contrasted against opposing sounds. As I described earlier, All Mine, the very sweet lyrics against somewhat seemingly darker sound. The vocals I thought were great, leads and harmonies. So this had a lot going on. I thought it was strong through and through. So that's why I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5.
Nice. We will agree for the most part. To echo your sentiment about the big question, I think this definitely takes you to an island worth visiting. I think you should buy your ticket now. This is a really strong debut from a fresh young band here in Austin. And I think there's something here for everyone. There's party jams, there's sexy serenades, there's pining ballads. Overall, rating-wise, I would agree with much of what Derek said, making old sounds sound fresh and new again. I think they're at their best when they mix sweetness with grit on tracks like Baby When I Close My Eyes, Break Your Bones, some of the other ones we mentioned earlier. On the con side, a few of the tracks were a little too sweet. I thought they didn't have that darker edge. Tracks like Someone Like You and My Poor Stupid Heart, at least for me, were a little too sugary sweet. So overall, really strong album. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. That is a combined 8 out of 10 from Derek and myself. So definitely check out Kokomo by Sweet Spirit. Let us know what you guys think of the album. We'd love to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to us here at Last Week's Album on YouTube or the podcast. And yeah, we are the only reviews with 2 different views. I'm Kevin.
I'm Derek.
Cheers, guys. See you next time.